Now we are coming to a new lesson of partnership accounts fundamentals. So today we are going to see how we adjust past errors. Actually, past adjustments are actually rectification of some errors committed in the past. For example, interest on capital. Okay, so this is actually syllabus. Past adjustments related to interest on capital, interest on drawings, salary, and profit sharing ratio. These are the four errors we will adjust at a later stage. Okay. Now let us see the omission of interest on capital or interest on drawings. You know that these are items we include in the profit and loss appropriation account. So when you prepare profit and loss appropriation, if these items are omitted, we have to go back and correct them. It is like rectification of errors. You can go through the notes here. Okay, you can stop the video, read them carefully. Now the interest on capital or interest on drawings. For example, interest on capital first. When interest on capital is omitted, we have to give them now and take out from the partner's capital. Means we have already distributed the profit without distributing interest on capital. Now the next step is take out what was given to them. That means debit the partner's capital and return it or credit the partner's capital as the second step. First step is debit the partner's capital. Second step is giving them back. Okay, read the notes, it is very clear. Take out the total amount of required for paying interest on capital. This is step 1. That means debit the partner's capital in the profit sharing ratio, because we have given them in the profit sharing ratio. So when you reverse it, you have to reverse in the profit sharing ratio. Then give them back as interest on capital. So you will understand it from illustration. Let us see this illustration. Very simple illustration. A, B, and C, who are equal partners in a firm. Okay, notice equal partners. Okay, I'm using Excel and I will note down all these things. Number 1 is equal partners. So that is the first thing to remember. Okay, when you are doing in the exam hall, what you have to do is underline the points. Equal partners, number 1. Second, their capitals of that. Okay, this has no. Okay, it has some effect. Okay. Profit for the year, 18,000 was distributed equally, because this 18,000 has no effect. Actually, we don't need it. Okay, I'm removing it because profit for the year was distributed, because we are not taking out that 18,000 in fact. Okay, that's why I removed it. That question, that 18,000 is not required here. This was profit was distributed equally. However, okay, this was equal partners means distributed equally. So that is very clear. The profit was distributed equally, but interest on capital at the rate of 10% was omitted. This is the problem. Okay, I will copy and paste it Go, get out. We don't need this. So we have to, profit was 30 rupees, 30,000, 30,000 and 15,000. I'm just copying so that I can do this easily in Excel. This is actually an Excel sheet. Only thing I removed that grid lines, okay, to make things look better, easier. So this is the story. We forgot to give interest at the rate of 10% to A, B and C. Now we have to give them 10% of 3,000, okay. 30,000, 10% is 3,000 to be given to A, 3,000 to be given to B and 1,500 to C. So you have to give them total 7,500. 3,000, oh, one second. This is the amount we have to give. So A should get 3,000, B should get 3,000 and C should get 3,000. From where? Because we have already given to them. We have already, profit was distributed equally to the all partners. That means A got 2,500. Now this is very important. You must understand what I'm doing here. A already got 2,500, B got 2,500, C got 2,500. How? Because we did not debit interest on capital. We did not give interest on capital, okay? I want to make sure that this is clear to you. Interest on capital was not given to partners means we gave a higher profit, okay? So the profit given was 7,500 extra, or that was given equally. This is the problem. These are equal partners, so we gave them equally. Not 7,500, we gave 18,000 anyway. 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. So now take back 7,500 equally, take it back equally, okay? Take it back equally and redistribute 3,000, 3,000 and 1,500. Take back from a partner. So now we can go to the journal entry. Now this is what we are giving to them, okay? Take back from, okay, this is the journal entry. First step, take back 7,000. First you have to calculate this, okay? Then take out 7,500. 7,500 is what? This is the 7,500. This 7,500 we take out from them. Another color. So first step is A's capital account debtor. A debtor 2,500, B debtor 2,500, C debtor 2,500, B debtor, okay, when you write it properly. Okay, this I am doing in the Excel sheet. A debtor 2,500, B debtor 2,500, C debtor 2,500, to what? Again, to A, to B, to C. The problem is I have to make this column little smaller. Okay, now journal entry is okay. We have to credit A with how much? 3,000. B 3,000. C 1500. Okay. Now A should get 3000, B should get 3000, and C should get 1500. We are giving them this and taking out 7500 and redistributing. Did you understand this journal entry? In this entry, what we are doing is to take out 7500 and redistribute. That's all. We have to give them, this was omitted before, we forgot to credit to them. So now you can see C is losing and A and B are gaining. Now look at this. A debtor 2500 and A credited 3000. Look at these entries together. That means in place of 2500, you can make a different entry. Okay, that's why I'm going a little slow. This is actually a rectification journal entry. Now, debit 2500, credit 3000. That means just credit 500. Okay, no debit, no this thing. 1 second. There is one strike through font. I forgot where. I don't know where it is. Okay, I'll just remove this. Now, remove it. Okay. B, debit 2500, credit 3000. So debit nothing, and here also nothing, and credit 500. Now, debit 2500, credit 1500. That means debit 1000. Now you got the entry. Did you understand this? This is the final entry. C debtor to A to B. That's all. Once again, see this one more time. A has to get 3000. This is the first step. A has to get 3000. B has to get 3000. C has to get 1500. Step 1. This is clear? So total 7500 should be taken out of the capitals of 3 partners and redistributed. Now, A has to lose 2500, gain 3000. Debit 2500, credit 3000. So instead of debiting 2500 and crediting 3000, we just credit 500. B, debit 2000. This you have to do in the notebook or in the workings. Step 1. Step 2. Debit 2500, credit 3000. Meaning debit 0 and credit 500. Now here, debit 2500, credit 1500. That means 1000. Credit nothing and 1000. So journal entry is C debtor 1000. This is the final journal entry, rectification entry. C debtor to A and B 1500 each. Okay, this is the final journal entry. Okay, let us see how I did in the Word. Okay, I did the same thing, slightly different. Amount to be debited A, B, C 2500, 2500, 2500. So we took out 7500. Step 1. We give them. Give means credit. Okay, these are things you have to have very clear in your mind. Giving somebody means credit. Credit A 3000, B 3000, C 1500. So what is the net result? 2500 debit and 3000 credit means A should be debited with 500. Instead of doing these two things, just debit A with 500. Now 2500 debit, 3000 credit. Did I say debit? No. Credit A with 500, credit B with 500, B with 500 and 2500 debit, 1500 credit. That means credit debit C with 1000. So you got the journal entry. This is the final journal entry. You need not do these two entries. You just make one entry. C debtor to A to B. Okay, you can decide how you want to do it. So this is the calculation. So this is the big entry, but don't do the big entry. A debtor, B debtor, C debtor to A, B, C. Instead of passing this big entry, you can pass one small entry. C debtor 1000. Both are same, okay? One more time, let me see if I can show them together. Yeah. This first entry and second entry are practically same. You have to make only the. Okay, there is no harm if you make this entry. This is correct. It will correct the whole thing. Debit 2500, credit 3000. That is okay. That is okay. But real final rectification is this. Debit 1000. Debit C with 1000. This is the meaning of debit C with 1000. And credit A and B with 500 each. So look at this. This. Meaning 500 each. That is the rectification entry. I want you to do it in the notebook, please. Don't simply watch it. I always say this. Do it in the notebook, otherwise no use of watching this. Let us see the next illustration. A, B and C sharing profits and losses in the ratio 2:2:1. Okay. I'll take the whole thing here. Okay. A, B and C sharing profits and losses in the ratio 2:2:1. A, B and C sharing profits and losses in the ratio and had capitals of 50,000 each. The profit of rupees 30,000. Okay, you can ignore this profit and pass the rectification entry. Okay, this has no meaning. This is unnecessarily confusing you. Okay, this is meaningless because you don't have to take back the 30,000. You just have to take back the error part only. Okay, you can take back. Okay, there is no harm. You can reverse the whole 30,000, redistribute that money. No harm, but that is too lengthy thing. Okay, what we have to do is the rectification thing. Okay, let us see. Profit share ratio is 2:2:1. Step 1. 50,000 is the capital for all of them. That is capital. Capitals of 50,000 each. Profit was 30,000. It has no meaning. Ignore this. Profit is meaningless. Okay, it is meaningless. I will put some other color. No use. Distributed without providing for interest on capital as agreed in the partnership deed. Okay, step 1. Decide how much you have to distribute. Interest on capital 2:2:1. 50,000 each. Okay, interest on capital 50,000 each. 2:2:1. Interest on capital at the rate of 10%. 50,000. 10% is 5,000, 5,000, and 5,000. Total is what? You know that. 15,000 we have to give. Give 15,000, take out 15,000. That is the story. Okay. Interest on capital 10% we have to give, and we have to take back from the three partners from A, how much you will take back? Okay. A, B, C. A debtor, B debtor to A, B, C. A, B, C. So this is a journal entry, you know this now. I'm making a journal entry first. Let's keep it right aligned. Okay. A debtor, B debtor, C debtor. To A, to B, to C. To A, to B, B, to C. You have to give them 5,000 each. And we have to take back 15,000 in the ratio 2:2:1. That means here A should give 15,000 into equals 15 into 2 by 5, 6,000. B also should give 6,000. And C should give 3,000. That is the meaning of 2:2:1. Okay, I'm writing here 2:2:1. Here we are giving 1:1:1 equal. Okay, profit sharing ratio. Okay, don't get confused with these numbers here. Okay, I'm just trying to make things clear to you. It should not confuse you, by the way. Okay. 2:2:1 ratio, we take out the money and give back 1:1. Give back means credit. Now let us refine this entry. A, debit 6,000, credit 5,000. That means debit 1,000. B, debit 6,000, credit 5,000. That means debit 1,000. C, debit 3,000, credit 5,000. That means credit 2,000. Is it clear? C, debit 3,000, credit 5,000. That means debit nothing and credit 2,000. Okay. So the journal entry is A debtor. So we need not write anything. A debtor, B debtor to C. That's all. That is the journal entry. A debtor 1,000, B debtor 1,000, to C's capital 2,000. That's all finished. Let us see what I did here in the Word. This is actually I copied from my book. It is the same thing. A, B, C should get 5,000 each. And A, B, C should give 5,000, sorry, total 15,000. That 15,000 should come from A, B, C. Given to A, B, C, taken from A, B, C. See the two lines once again. A, B, C should get 5,000 each, that is interest on capital. It is taken from A, B, C, that is the profit already distributed. We distributed more than 15,000. Actually, we distributed 30,000, but that is not relevant. That 15, half of that is okay anyway. In this case, You have to take back only 15,000 and take back in the old profit sharing ratio, old profit 2:1. A get back. So finally, in case of A, rupees 1,000 debtor, B 1,000 debtor, C 2,000 credit. Journal entry A debtor, B debtor to C 2,000. That's it. A is capital 1,000. B is capital 1,000 to C is capital 2,000. Please make sure you understand this calculation. Okay. The final part, last 2 minutes. Play it back, go back and watch it again. If this is not clear, you will have confusion afterwards. We are just taking it back, taking the profit already distributed in the old profit share. Oh, okay, there is only one profit sharing ratio. Distributed in the profit sharing ratio is taken out. Taken back means debit. Taken, okay, that is the point you have to remember. How do you take back money? By debiting the capital. How do you give the partner? By crediting. So we forgot to give them interest on capital, so that we are taking back what is distributed and we are redistributing as interest on capital. So take back, debit, give credit. So this is the point you have to remember always. Debit the partner means he is losing. Credit the partner means he is gaining, not the profit and loss appropriation account. Debiting profit and loss appropriation account is a different story. Profit and loss appropriation account is debited and partner's capital is credited. So now I'm talking about partner's capital account. Hope this is clear. Go to the next illustration. A, B, and C have distributed their profits for the year 2020 in the ratio 2:1:1. Okay, they forgot it. It is the same thing. Okay, their capitals, fixed capital 40:40:20. So we do the same thing. We have to distribute the profit in the ratio 2:1:1. This is something that we have to reverse. Okay, 2:1:1, and we have to give them what? 40:40:20. That means 1 is, okay, 2:2:1. Ratio is 40,000. Sorry, they left out interest on capital on 40,000 at the rate of what? 10%. Okay, let us focus on what we have to do first. Step 1. Give them interest on capital. Interest to be credited. Okay. Okay, debit comes first or second, doesn't make any difference anyway. Interest to be credited on 40,000, 40,000 for 20,000. That means 4,000, 4,000, 2,000. Okay, this is interest at the rate of 10%. That is the interest. So total we have to take out 10,000. We have to give 10,000, take out 10,000. Take out 10,000 in the what ratio? 2:1:1. 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1, 4. 2,500 into 2, that is debit A with 5,000, B with 2,500, C with 2,500. And give, that means credit 4,000, 4,000, 2,000. That means final adjustment is this. Debit A with 1,000, B with credit B with 1,500, debit C with 500, 2,000, 2,500 debit. Okay, so result is this. Journal entry is this. A debtor 1,000, C debtor 500, to B 1,500. Got it? So this is the final journal entry. This is fixed capital, so we have to write current account. A is current account at 1,000, C is current account at 500, 2. B is current account 1,500. When capitals are fixed, all adjustments should be done through current accounts. Okay, go to the next illustration. A, B, and C distributed their profits in the ratio 2:1:1. After crediting interest on capital at 10% instead of 8% on their fixed capitals of 40. Okay. Now this is, the problem is the ratio. Rate of interest. Now you have to rectify only 2%. What is that? Okay, now this profit was distributed interest on capital was given at the rate of 10% instead of 8%. What we have to do is debit 2%. Very simple, okay? In the ratio 2:1:1. Instead of 8, we gave 10. So 2% is the part we have to correct. So the ratio is 2:1:1. And capitals are 40, 40, 20. 2% of 40 is 800. Again, 2% of 40 is 800. And 2% of 20 is 400. So total 2,000 has to be debited. That 2,000 has to be given back in the profit sharing ratio. Profit sharing ratio, that is 2:1:1. 2:1:1. Now, excess interest debited 800, 800 and 400. I hope this is clear to you. Instead of 10%, instead of 8%, profit was given at 10%. That means these partners got 800 extra, more than what was normal. A, B, and C. So they got 800 more, B got 800 more, and C got 400 more than what was supposed to be given. And we take it back, debit them, and we give it back, credit them. When you give it back, we give in the profit sharing ratio. Profit sharing ratio is 2:1:1. So 2:1:1 is 1,500, 500. And finally, final journal entry is B debtor 300. B is the only one who is debited. A is credited with 200 and C is credited with 100. So that is the journal entry. B is current account debtor 300 to A's current account 2,000 to C's current account. They say A's current account 2,000. This 200 and C's current account 100. I hope this is clear now. Go to illustration 15. A, B, and C started business with, they started business, that is the first year, 100,000, 80,000, and 60,000. Okay. They agreed to share profits and losses equally. Good. Provided for interest on capital at the rate of 10%. Okay. Interest on drawings have been estimated to be 250 on A. That is flat, 250, 200 and 150. So we don't have to calculate. It is given clear. Interest on capital had been credited to partners at 8% instead of 10%. There are two mistakes. Number one, first mistake, interest on capital was credited at 8%. So I think they got a new accountant. Oh, anyway, this is first year, so possible to make mistakes. So now we have two problems here, two mistakes here. Interest on capital credited at 8 instead of 10. So give 2% to them. Okay. Second, interest on drawings had been completely omitted. That means interest on drawings should be debited to partners and credited to business. So debit them with 250, 200 and 150. Let us see how this is done. Interest, give them 2% of interest. Interest to be credited at 2%. Interest on drawings, 250, 200 and 150. So the amount to be reversed in the profit sharing ratio. Now we have to reverse 4,200. This is the point. You have to calculate it separately. 2%. Because in place of 10% we gave 8%. You can see it here. Interest 8% instead of 10. So give that 2%. Interest on drawings. We omitted, so debit that. So total 4,800 credit and 600 debit. That means 4,200 debit. That 4,200 will be debited to partners in the profit sharing ratio equal. Now you can pass the journal entry. Journal entry is this. A debtor 1,400, B debtor 1,400, C debtor 1,400, step 1. Step 2 is this and this together. That means A should be credited with the 350 symbol. A should be credited with 350. That means credit 2,000, debit 250 plus 1,650 to credit 350. B, debit and credit same. C, debit is 1,550 and credit is 1,200. Net is 350. That's all. Simple journal entry. A is capital, C is capital account debtor to A is capital. This I tell you is slightly complicated because there are two things involved. Please make sure you understand this thing very well. Okay. I tried to explain in a different way and then in between I found it is too complicated. I stopped and came back here. So please make sure you read this question, go through this analysis, don't do anything else. Interest to be credited, interest on drawings debited, and the total of this first line and second line to be reversed. Okay, so this is the total 4,200 credit. 4,200 credit, so reverse it 4,200 debit in the profit sharing ratio. And now look at them. A, look at B vertically. Look at B and C, and that's it. And it's a very, very easy journal entry. Analysis is slightly confusing, but journal entry, finally you get 350. C is capital account debtor 352, A is capital 350, and redistribution of profit, that is for the next class. Thank you for watching. Bye.